It's a beautiful Tuesday. Welcome to the bigger play where the rubber meets the road and we get straight to it and we got to talk about it. You ready? Pride before the fall. Ain't no time for hesitate. So what I was doing was watching this judge talk to a young lady about child support and how she was keeping the father from the child, and the judge was scolding her about respecting the court and listening to her and responding in an appropriate manner. But the lady had so much pride, the judge was threatening to hold her in contempt. And because the lady was having so much pride and being so disrespectful, the judge told the sheriff to remove that lady from the courtroom. Let's talk about pride. And you don't see that a lot because most of the time in child support, because the laws protect women to a certain extent, the man get railroaded, good father or not, regardless. A man could be a good father for 5 years, and he can fall off that 6th, 7th year in regards to not being able to be there as much, or just regardless, he could just fall off. The fall off gonna get more focused than all those 5 years where he was being an amazing father. Okay. Pride can mean a lot of different things depending on the context you put it in and things of that nature. It's just so deep of what I just witnessed because the lady just wasn't going. She was basically like, the judge, what you talking about? I'm going to do me. The judge says, you listening, man? She looked at the judge like she was crazy, and the judge said, oh, I'm going to teach her. So, self-respect and confidence, right? If you're in a good space, pride will often refer to a healthy sense of self-worth and dignity. Okay? The kind of pride that comes from personal achievements, integrity, or identity. But it's a line right there. So if you in a space where you feeling like, nah, it's just me and nobody else, but you among your honor, a judge, you may run into a problem because the judge got the power to tell you to humble yourself. She ain't gonna say it like that. She gonna say, ma'am, I'm asking you to address the court appropriately. And if you got pride and you feeling some type of way, you might look at the judge and say, I'm handling it well. This her courtroom, you under her tutelage, you under this courtship. She might say, well, ma'am, I'm asking, and she humbly coming at you in the beginning. But this is where the pride come before the fall. And you going so nuts. Bailiff, remove that woman from the court. Put her in the holding cell. Let's see if she. Now you can be humble back there, or you can keep going. Now you might have to go and be arrested. And this is how serious it is. And at one point, you're going to get to a bottom where you like, oh my God, what just happened? Pride before the fall. Now I gotta reel up. I want y'all to go check it up. Go check it out so you can see the context to where we at with it. Pride before the fall. When I tell you it's amazing, it's amazing. It's another pride, and that's the LGBTQ and pride. We ain't going there though, because we don't do those. Oh no, we don't do those, young people. Now, here's another form of pride. It's called hubris and arrogance. Yeah. See, sometimes pride can mean an excessive sense of superiority or self-importance, right? In this sense, pride can have a negative connotation, influence associated with an inflated ego and a lack of humility, right? Humbling yourself means you thankful and you know that this could all be over. But when you prideful, yeah, my t-shirt cost $1 million. So you get to a point where you so gung-ho on, man, can't nobody tell me nothing. And then something happened to bring you down to reality. That's why it's always decent to be decent. Because when you decent, whenever that decency comes back on you, it come back on you the right way. Case in point. I respect my mom. I respect my dad. My dad was at one point telling me, son, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. I felt as though my dad didn't understand. It was a generation gap. My dad didn't understand what I was going through. We difference in age. I'm going through whatever I'm going through. My dad saying, son, I've been there before. I'm like, Pops, you don't understand. Here it is. He said, don't do this because if you make that bed hard, you're going to have to lay in it, son. So be careful with the decisions you making. But I'm going to tell you what I see you doing. Don't do that. I'm telling Pops, man, I got pride, ego. He don't know what he talking about. Here these people come put them handcuffs on me. Now my daddy ain't there to protect me and I got to deal with this. There go accountability, right? Just look at me dead square in my face. You holding that pride for so long, but when that pressure get on you and can't nobody come save you or bond you out, now you got to go through gladiator school. I was like, whoa, right then and there. When that man said, this is Clondalia, you reached the pit, I was humble. I couldn't curse at him. I couldn't jump on him. I got handcuffs on behind my back, my feet shackled. They cussing you out, yelling all in your face. I ain't say, get up out my face, chump. I ain't do none of that. Pride, ego subsided. Humility showed up. Humility said, whoa, yeah, look what you in. Be quiet. I had to be quiet and show some grace and show some humility. Because what I'm finna do with my shackled feet and my shackled hands, yeah, and maybe he won't slap you or whoop you because there's people around him. Maybe they will. What you gonna do? You shackled behind your back, your feet together, shackled. What you finna do? And you 145, 150, 200, and they 30 deep. Humility. Yep. Had to let the ego and that pride to the side. And I had to say, whoa. You hear me? And then when I caught that humility, they saw that, they stopped yelling. They showed him humility with humility. Humble with humbleness. It was real cool. Was able to find that level of humility and float through there. You hear me? Let's talk about collective identity. People often take pride in groups or communities they belong to, like national pride, cultural pride, or family pride. I'm identifying with where I come from. Chicago, underdeveloped, underprivileged, inner city trials and tribulations, and I take pride in it because what I just told you, you go through the prison system, you go through the county jail, you go through some sort of harassment on whatever level, you go through trial and tribulations, you go through having to go to a courtroom, and you take pride in being able to go through that, stand tall as a man, without having to tell on anybody, which they consider snitching, because of what you was a part of, or without having to bring any detriment to anybody that was dealing with you in that particular situation you was in that got you in that situation, Or even outside of that. You pride yourself on saying, wow, I came from this, but look how far I done came and look where I'm at now. You hear me? Pride before the fall. All right.
Pastors lying to the public, they ain't got the truth in them. Lights out, gas off, bootless, this city pimping. Blocks on fire cause the homeowners broke as fuck. Taxes up, water bill higher than a semi truck. It's a bigger play, a bigger play. Death before dishonor is the only